exclusive.
Hello, my name is Emmanuel Munsanje from Mansa, Zambia, coming to lecture again in costing. Now, this time around, we are looking at chapter 5, and let's see what is there. We have materials stock control. So then, we need to understand what are materials when you're running business. What is to control? If you are buying materials that you input for your finished products to be made, you must know when to order and how to order. Don't overorder, don't underorder. So these are the issues that we are going to explore. Now, what is stock control and why should we control the way we buy or stockpile? You know, there are a lot of big costs of ordering and storing the stock. If you don't control, you incur huge costs. There are benefits of stock holding. You know, when you get the materials, you hold them. There are benefits that you are likely to get, and these are: you take care of future shortages. In case of any shortage of the materials, for as long as you are holding the materials, you won't run out of them. And you have efficient stock not to disturb production. You know, as you produce, you need to input the raw materials. So if you hold the stock, you are not going to be disrupted. And then you are going to absorb seasonal fluctuations. There are times like this season, you run out of the stock, but if you hold the stock, you won't really have that trouble, that problem. But then as you hold, there are holding costs that you incur in terms of insurance cost. Those materials should be insured, and it's very expensive. There is a risk of obsolescence. There is a risk of deterioration. Those are costs that are holding costs. There are also some costs called order costs. These include the clerical and administrative costs. For example, you do a lot of documentation and writing as you do the orders. There is also transport costs, also production costs. Now, if you do not control the way you manage the stock, you have high expenses in those areas. Now, you look at the stock out. Stock out is not something that is desirable, running out of stock. It means you can lose what you would have actually gained from the sales. And then there's a loss of future sales. There's also loss of goodwill from customers and loss of production stoppages. So you need to manage your stocks very well to avoid stock out. Stock taking is just to check out what you have in your warehouse. There are different ways in which you can do that. There's what is called periodic stock taking as well as continuous stock taking. Periodic stock taking is a situation whereby you check your stock at particular points of the year, maybe at the end of the year, maybe in the middle of the year. But continuous stock taking is really important because you really do it almost like every day. You know what you have and what goes out. What are the objectives of stock control? You want to minimize the following costs by virtue of controlling the stock. One, you want to minimize holding costs, ordering costs, and stock out costs. Now, there are terminologies that we have to learn as we control the way we buy the stock. This is what we call reorder level system. Now, this is a stock control method whereby you have to monitor certain things so as to know when to order and when not to order. So there are various concepts that are there, like reorder level, minimum stock level, and maximum stock level. You know, when you order your stock, it will go up a certain level. And when you begin using, it begins depleting and go until it reaches the level when it will ignite in your mind that go and order now. That is the reorder level. If you don't order, it will still go down until it reaches a minimum level. But when you order, you pile your stock, it may reach the maximum. So this is one of the methods of stock control. So like we said, reorder level is the level where replenishment has to be made. It's something that is going to warn you to say, now go and order. So the reorder level has a formula which is equal to maximum usage multiplied by maximum lead time. Now, lead time is the time of waiting between the time when you press the order and when the materials arrive. The minimum stock level also has a formula. So this is the lowest warning point of stocks to reorder. So minimum stock level formula is reorder level minus average usage by average lead time. Maximum stock, this is where you have a huge amount of stock. Now, this one also has a formula. The maximum stock that should be held, the very big bulk that you can hold is called maximum stock. Now, when you look at maximum stock, it has a formula. It's reorder level plus reorder quantity minus minimum usage by minimum lead time. Average stock level also has a formula. But I should mention here that more often than not, you need to learn this formula by heart because they may not be given in the examination. Here is an example of how we want to see how you can control stock. Zamtire Limited deals in Goodyear tires for which the following information is available. Average usage of tires, 140 tires per day. Minimum usage, 90 tires per day. Maximum usage, 175 tires per day. Lead time, 10 to 16 days. Reorder quantity, 300 tires. The examiner will give you this information. Then the question is required. Calculate based on the information. 1. Reorder level. 2. Minimum stock level. 3. Maximum stock level. Like I alluded to, you need to learn the formula by heart in order to calculate this which you've been given. Now, from the use of the formula above that we looked at, reorder level is equal to maximum usage by maximum lead time. You compute those numbers, 175 by 16, you get 2,800. For minimum stock level is equal to reorder level minus average usage by average lead time. 2,800 minus open brackets 140 by 13 is equal to 980. Maximum stock is equal to reorder level plus reorder quantity minus open brackets minimum usage by minimum lead time, which is 2,800 plus 3,000 minus open brackets 90 by 10 is equal to 4,900. Now, another method of controlling the way you order your goods is the concept of economic order quantity, which has a scientific formula that is going to give you the quantity which you can order that is going to balance the costs that are involved in the ordering cost. Now, economic order quantity, like you see, it has a formula where you have the square root of 2 demand by cost of ordering over cost of holding. So it depends there on just the computation of the salient information that you need in order to calculate. Now let's look at an example where we want to see the reorder level system, which is a scientific method of controlling how much quantity of goods should be ordered. Now let's look at this. If the demand of material X is 2,500 per annum, that's D, and the order cost is 20 kwacha per unit, then the holding cost is 100 kwacha per unit. Calculate the economic order quantity. I've already stated that the economic order quantity is the amount of goods that you order, which is calculated scientifically using that formula that will balance up the cost system. And all you need is simply compute. And from the computation, you have 100. That means that if you order 100 units, that is going to be very economical. It is going to balance up the cost. It is inbuilt in terms of controlling the way you balance the cost. So then per order, there must be 100 units of X at a time. The Japanese use what is called just-in-time JIT system. This means you don't have to order, stockpile, and put your items in the warehouse, but you just have to bring what you need, which goes straight into production. But then this one you need certain things for it to work. One, efficient transport system, efficient communication system, because remember, if you don't stockpile, it simply means that you are not going to need a lot of space for stockpiling the materials. But of course, there are some advantages. Yes, there are advantages of you save space, and apart from saving space, you're going to really enjoy the flow of fresh materials. But the disadvantages are that you can't use it at the hospital. You can't use it where there is inefficiency in terms of transport. So thank you very much for listening to this kind of stock control system, because we are saying when you are doing stock control, you don't overorder, neither do you underorder, but you kind of balance. You balance in order to keep production flowing. Thank you very much. Have a blessed day.